Hi, hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Additional Intelligence Live. Welcome, guys. Welcome. All right, apologies for starting behind schedule. We were supposed to have started it since 5 p.m. West African time. That's 5 p.m. Nigerian time, but I think this is 6 p.m. So we are 1 hour behind schedule, but I'm very sure that joining is going to be worth your time and you are going to learn so much from today's session. It's going to be worth every minute you're going to be spending here, right? Thank you so much for staying by and for joining. Today, we are going to be talking about something very interesting, right? And but before we dive right into it, right, I would like you to just share this link with as many people as possible. That's what I'm also currently doing. Share this link with as many people as possible and get them to join this session. Let me tell you something for a fact. This is going to be the simplest, most comprehensive wealth creation webinar you've ever attended in your life. I can confidently tell you that. If you've been listening to a lot of things about wealth creation and you've been wondering, would I ever understand this thing? Would I ever get this thing? Would I ever be able to make authoritative decisions with all this knowledge that is flying around? This is that webinar for you, and you do not want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. My name is Opeyemi Adesina. I'm the lead investor and founder of Adesina Assets Limited. And these sessions, basically, is something I came up with such that, everyone that would be investing with us will be doing so from a grounded understanding perspective. Not just because, oh, this is a good investment. Not just because, oh, you can make profit from this. But because they believe and they know based on their own personal conviction in that particular investment vehicle. So today we are going to be talking about something really fundamental that if you get, you can make conscious and profitable decisions consistently, whatever it is you choose to do. Whatever it is you choose to do. And, like I titled this is something that a lot of silent billionaires you do not even know across the world are using, right? So today we'll be talking about how to create wealth without inventing anything. How to create wealth without inventing anything. And like I said, we're going to be starting with the very foundation. How do you create wealth without inventing anything? In fact, let's start from how do you even create wealth at all? So we are going to be starting from the very basis. And when I say basis, I mean, what is wealth? Because this is where we first get it wrong. What exactly is wealth? Wealth simply means abundance of something, or when something is plentiful. So if I have a lot of chicken, I am wealthy with chicken. If I have a lot of goats, I remember growing up, my mom had a lot of, domestic animals, chicken, goats all around, and she would even name them certain funny names. So we had those things. We had them. We were wealthy in them when it comes to agricultural domestic animals. So wealth, if you are very healthy, that's wealth, right? So wealth simply means abundance. It means plentiful. That's wealth. If you have resources, if you have knowledge, you can have a wealth of knowledge, right? If you have clothing, you can have wealth of clothing. So let's first get the foundation right. Wealth simply means abundance of anything desirable, abundance of anything, anything you want. That's wealth when you have them in plenty. So what does wealth creation now mean? It means creation of abundance or creation of plenty by gathering or accumulating assets. Now, before you ask me what is assets, we'll get into it. Like I said, I'll be laying it step by step. It will be a step-by-step approach to understanding what wealth creation is. So wealth creation simply means creating abundance or creating plenty by accumulating assets. So what is assets? Assets simply means anything that you can add value to get more value back from it. Let's keep it simple. I want to use a particular example, but I don't know how it will sound. If I start buying a girl something because I want her to date me, simply put, The things I'm buying her, I believe so strongly that when she says yes to me, her yes is worth more than all the things I'm buying her. That means the relationship in that context is an asset, because I've been investing in it, hoping to get more than what I'm putting into it. That's it. If I'm trying to pay my tithe to God, it's because I know that the Bible says it would give me blessings that there would be no room enough to contain it. Do you see that? That means God, that tithing, that relationship I'm trying to build with God is an asset. So what I'm putting my money into is an asset. So asset is not necessarily buying a house or buying a land. No. If I go to school, that is an asset, because I'm investing my school fee to be able to get a degree out of it, because I believe that degree is worth more than the money I'm going to be spending in the next 4 years in the school. I believe the degree is going to get me a job. The degree is going to finance my lifestyle, is going to make me rich in life. Do you see that? So when you think about it this way, you are not under pressure. So many of you now, they tell you don't have any assets. It's a lie. All of us have an asset. Your family is an asset. Your education, the education you've acquired so far is an asset. The clothing you're able to put on is an asset. Because imagine you're not putting on any clothes. That means people will be running away from you on the streets. They will think you are mad. So the money you paid to buy that clothes is an investment to getting an asset, because you believe that the cloth is more value than you just having the money at hand. Do you get that now? So basically, assets simply means anything you add value to that gives you more value in return. So you see how we took it now from wealth to wealth creation and then to assets. I said wealth is abundance, plenty. Wealth creation is creating abundance by acquiring assets. And I said asset is anything you add value to get more value in return. When you understand these things step by step like this, you would make less mistake, and you'd be under less pressure to put money into anything, because you will know that firstly, investing is a lifestyle, and we are all investing every day. You spend 2 hours on a call with your babe, that's investment, because you want her to be happy with you. That's return on investment. When she tells you, I love you, baby, you say, I love you too, and everybody's happy. That's return on investment. If you didn't call her from morning to evening, definitely you know what's going to come out of it. So because you know the value that you're getting out of it, you're able to invest your time. You invest your resources. Valentine will soon be here. Everybody will be running out of skater. They want to get something. You are not doing this, you are not doing that. Because the thing you are buying, those people that mean a lot to you, you believe that the joy you are getting back is higher value than what you are putting into it. That's something that we all need to understand. So we are all investing every day. We are all investors. It's not until you own a land before you're an investor, right? Now, let's see how it works. What's now the formula for wealth creation? What's the formula for wealth creation? Value plus time equals more value. That's it. The only thing is you choose what you want to be wealthy in, or what you want to have abundance of. If it is money, now you know that what you need is money plus time equals more money. You see the formula? Very simple. Very, very simple. Value plus time equals more value. In fact, the Bible says seed, time, and harvest. You see that? Seed, then time, then harvest. That means if a farmer goes to a bare land now, he cultivates and puts, that is value. Put seed into the land, that's value. Then he goes for a period of time, watering and all those things, hoping that at the end of the whole weather season, is going to come back with a bountiful harvest. That's how it works. If you think like that, you would not just put money anywhere. You would not just want to get rich overnight, because you understand that, okay, this thing, I have to put in some value. I have to leave it for some time for me to get more value out of it. I saw a video, and I'm not going to be careful about saying this thing. A celebrity said, you put, is it 22 million naira, and after 4 weeks, or is it 4 days, you get 56 million naira out of it without checking it. That's a Ponzi scheme. You don't have to ask questions. You don't have to. Or you see something like a company that is still less than 2 years old. I think this was what happened during the days of, was it Rackstelly? Yeah, I think it was Rackstelly. I went to the website. A company that is less than 2 years old. I saw agriculture, real estate, finance, tech. I'm like, how on earth is this possible? People were cashing out every Friday. I put this money, people were sharing testimonies. I knew it was a time bomb. And when it crashed, everybody, because you have to know that this thing is an age-long principle. It's fundamental. Value plus time equals more value. It's fundamental. You need to understand that. Now, you want to ask, someone might be asking, how come there's no risk in this your formula? You see, risk is just, it's something that happens automatically, right? And let me explain. Risk is just the degree, is a measurement of the degree of your control over an investment. For example, when you went to school, the risk attached is that cultists can kill you. Because why is that a risk? Because number one, you don't know how to fight. So it's the degree at which you cannot control what can happen to you. If you are traveling by road, you can have accidents. What's the degree of risk? Okay, I can fly by air, or you can be kidnapped. You can say that the more control you have, the less risk is involved. Do you see that? In fact, if you don't want to have any risk and you want to have 100% control, do you know what you need to do? Don't put your money into anything. As long as the money is 100% with you. Meanwhile, it's not even 100% safe because armed robbers can come and attack you. That means even just keeping the money with you alone, there's already a risk involved. So you see that risk is just a normal course of events to show you that this is the degree at which you have control over this economic activity. So you can say that automatically it's just value and time. You want to have anything wealth, you want to have anything in abundance, you want to have anything in plenty, value plus time equals more value. And there's something that I've often said, that nothing in itself has the ability to make you wealthy. Not crypto, not stocks, not even real estate. Nothing, absolutely nothing in itself has the ability to make you wealthy. It is what you know to do with that thing that can make you wealthy. For example, Dangote made his first breakthrough from cement business. How many cement businesses do we have in Nigeria? How many of them are billionaires? Oh, the fact that Tantalizers is a successful food business, does that mean you should go into food business? Of course not. Meaning, the fact that a food business is lucrative does not mean everybody will be successful from food business. The fact that real estate is a stable asset class does not mean that everybody is going to become wealthy through real estate. It is what you know to do with real estate investment. So don't just buy real estate because everybody's buying. No. It's what you can do with it. Nothing in itself can make you wealthy. It is what you know to do with it that can make you wealthy. So now we've understood that assets plus time value plus time equals more value, right? And in this sense, right, I know everybody here, when it comes to wealth, why you are on this session is because you want to make money. So value in this assets in this time now is what? Money, right? So, and let me just turn it in turn that we said value plus time equals more value, meaning asset plus time, right, should give you more assets. Right? That's just how to know an asset. Asset is anything you add value to that plus time it gives you more value. That's an asset for you. So, but right now, the wealth we are talking about now, the abundance you want to have, the plenty thing you want to have is money, right? You want to have $10 billion, $32 billion, and all those things. So it's money. Now let's start from the foundation also. Because once you get this thing right, you can always apply this thing by yourself. In fact, I did a conference recently, and the topic of what I shared in the conference is why you don't need me to make successful real estate investment. I own a real estate firm, and I'm teaching people that you don't need me to make successful real estate investment. Because investment is so simple. People make mistakes because they think it's complex. If the way where I am right now is being lit up, if I want to walk anywhere, I just walk directly. But once I close my eyes, I start making mistakes. That is it. Because once you lose clarity, you just start messing things up. So firstly, when it comes to making more money, the first thing you want to know is understanding how money flows. And when I say how money flows, I mean how money flows in your own hand. For example, you get your salary, and the next thing, everything you spend on is liabilities. By the way, since asset is value plus time equals more value, liabilities is value plus time equals less value. Meaning that if I bring my money now and I go and buy, what's it called? Let me give an example of something that is popular that people talk. Air, let's say air now, right? Now, the more I use the air, the less the value. That's liability. The less the value. Now, the clause is that I can be using that air to make more money to buy more air. But as far as the air itself is concerned, it's a liability because it's reducing in value. So if I buy, or for example, let's say a car. If I walk into a garage now, I buy a car for 10 million naira. Immediately I drive the car outside of that place, the car reduces in value. That's a liability. But the car can be an instrument, right? That means the car can be a value I add to something to get me more value. That means the car can be what I use to close more real estate deals to make more money. Right? Now, let's now check it out. When I talk about money flows, how money flows in your hand, you need to understand that to create abundance of money, your money needs to go into accumulating assets. We've talked about it. Wealth, abundance. Wealth creation, abundance through accumulation of assets, right? Yes. So that means if I want wealth of money, the current money I have, since we said assets is value plus time equals more value, that means the money I have must go into I must go into something that with time gives me more value. I hope you're following me. Now, what that means is that I must trace where my money is going into. Is it going into accumulating assets or not? Is it going into accumulating assets or not? So firstly, you must understand that, and I've said this over and over and over again. Many people tell you that when you make money, pay yourself first. And people think paying yourself first means taking yourself to an expensive restaurant. That is not it. Many people think paying yourself first is buying yourself a new air. No, the money is not coming to you. The money is going to the weak vendor. If you take yourself to a restaurant, the money is not coming to you. It's going to the restaurant owner. So what money do you really pay to yourself? Is the money that you pay to bring more money for yourself. For example, if I make 100,000 naira and I pay for a higher certification of 50,000 naira, that is the one I paid to myself because that certification is going to make me more money. If I buy, what's it called now? A land or a house that's going to give me rental income, that money that I put aside is the one that is actually paying me more, not the one I paid to my landlord. So you need to understand that. So you need to track how your money flows. And the first thing you want to do for yourself is that any money that comes into your hand, have a percentage that you take out immediately. See, you need to automate your finance in a way that it's continuous. You don't have to think about it. It's continuous. So, for example, you get a gig now, they paid you 1 million naira. It's already registered. 30% of this money is not my own. So immediately that money enters, 30%, you must have, it's called a storage account. Meaning, I don't know what to invest in yet, but this money is the one I pay myself. It's the one that goes into my savings or investment account. That money might be money you just go to a bookstore one day and buy books. If you know that you are still lacking certain knowledge, right? I tell these stories oftentimes, and it's funny. When I was still undergraduate, I think my allowance then was around 10,000 naira. Yeah, I think it was 10,000 naira. Once that money comes in, the first thing on my mind is what course do I get? And this is why today people get shocked when I tell them a list of courses, like a list of skills that I have. When there was time I had a graphic designer, and then the way I was correcting him, he was forced to ask me, "Sir, how do you know all this?" I told him, "I've been doing graphic design since 2012. And I'm not saying just petty design. I designed for Airtel. So you can know that I didn't just I was an art director. Coupled with that, I learned filmmaking, right? I went to a film academy. I learned video editing. I can use Premiere Pro, right? I learned branding. I learned brand strategy, right? I've added 2 multinationals on digital trainings. How did I learn all these things? It was not after school. It was while I was still on campus. But immediately that money entered, I'm getting a course. I think all the graphic design training I got was around 5,000, 7,000, 5,000, 7,000, right? So you need to understand that firstly, you must create a strategy, an automated strategy. whereby every money that comes into your hand, there's a percentage that you are removing immediately. This one is for savings and investment. Fundamentally, I used to recommend 5 bucket classes. That's your survival, your savings or investment, your emergency, your enjoyment, and then your charity. Right? If you do this, what that does for you is that, for example, let's say 10% is what you get for charity in all that you make. Once you exhaust that 10%, let someone come and cry you a river that my mom swallowed a shovel. You don't have money. And if you're on my contact list, you know that I post something a lot. Stay broke, stay broke. Staying broke does not mean you don't have money. Staying broke means immediately money enters your hand. You've distributed it into where it's supposed to go. That none of the money is your own anymore. So even though I have 1 million naira in my account, if you come to me and I've exhausted my charity budget, I do not have money to give you. But until you create a system around your finances, you will just be going in a cycle. You make money, you spend it, you're going to make money, and that is basically what rat race is. So you want to create a system whereby, firstly, you have a percentage remove out of your money, 30% aside. Then you know you can live on 70%. Some say 40%. You check your income, check your expenses, right? And now see how much can you be setting aside. So that you know that what that now does to you. Immediately you have an income, it goes straight into an asset. It goes straight into an asset first. So I wish I can. I'll just do a demonstration. I wish I have a board, such that you make money now, it goes into an asset, then the leftover goes into expenses. What that does is this asset makes you more money, goes into asset again. So there's a cycle of more money. So your income is increasing. If you start a year with a particular income and you end the year with that same income, even if your salary did not increase, it shows that all through the year you were spending on liabilities. That's your first step. In fact, Robert Kiyosaki would say that the same way you go to school and you have your result, if you want to know how financially intelligent you are, check your bank statement. That's it. Check your banks. Many people don't check their bank statements. That's the only way you can know, am I financially stupid or am I financially wise? Check your bank statement. Where is my money going to? Am I spending my money? Right? You can be spending on assets and it's not showing yet. There's an illustration I often use of Chris Cron. Chris Cron is a real estate investor. When he got married, they moved to a neighborhood where all their monthly expenses was $2,000. Monthly expenses. For over 10 years, their monthly expenses remained $2,000, even though inflation was going up. Everybody in the area thought they were the same. They were on the same level. They didn't know that Chris Cron's income was increasing, but he maintained that expenses. He didn't increase it. So all the extra one that was increasing, he was storing it into real estate, storing it into assets. So as he was putting into rental properties that one was increasing, his expense remained. By the time they left that area, the next place they went to was a beach house, a multi-million-dollar beach house. What was the difference? Many people now, immediately they increase your salary by 50,000 naira, you are changing apartments, you are changing your car. Because somehow people are a lot of people are trying to impress. A lot of people are trying to always make a statement. My salary has just been increased. Nobody needs to know. It's your financial life. It's your personal life. Right? So you want to create a system whereby you make money, it goes into an asset. First, you have a percentage that going to an asset. Then you know you are left to live on whatever is left. So the 70% or the 60% or the 50% that is left, that is all you have to live on. So that's why I think that you can. In fact, I think it's financially wise that when people think you have 1 million naira to your name, you should have 10 million naira to your name. So people should always have a perception of you that is less than who you really are. So they think you are a millionaire, but you're actually a billionaire. They think you're a multi-millionaire, but you're actually a multi-billionaire. They think this guy is broke, but you actually have up to 10 million naira and you are not using. But nobody needs to know. That's the thing. Nobody needs to know. Right? So if you do this, you have a continuous system. I watched a video recently and I think it's worthy of sharing. That if water is coming into a plate and there are different plates underneath, that is your family, your friends, everything that needs to collect money from you. And as it's coming, you are pouring. As it's coming, you are pouring. As it's coming, you are pouring. You constantly be empty. But if you just kept your bowl under the water, once your bowl is full, it start overflowing to everyone under you. You don't have to struggle to give. It becomes automatic. You just keep staying connected to that source. Every bucket get filled up. Right? So now let's dive right in. I took time to explain how money flows so that you can understand that the reason why you might be broke or not be creating abundance of money is because once you make any money, it goes into liabilities. It goes into data, it goes into food, it goes into rent, it goes into clothing, it goes into fuel, it go every other thing except assets. You have nothing you are budgeting for savings, you have nothing for investment. Have a storage account, not savings account. Storage. You keep storing until you have something to invest in. You keep storing. Until you have that particular that you know that this is what I want to invest in. Now let's move on. Now, I'm about to break table of popular opinion right now. Right? For me, we have just three asset classes that you can choose from. Just three. First is businesses. Second is real estate. Third is commodities. And I'll explain. Businesses is where stocks fall under. It's business. Treasury bills is business because you are borrowing a government money. And why are you borrowing them money? Because you know they will pay you with interest. That means it's a business venture. Economies are like businesses. They are just because there's political affiliations. So economies are actually businesses. That's why you see countries competing, countries fighting. They are businesses. So it's still businesses. Mutual funds is a group of people pulling funds together to invest in various things. So that's not even an investment. That's not even an asset class. That's not an asset class. Right? What other things do we have? ETFs. ETF is also like mutual fund where you put a lot of real estate businesses together and then you trade them as a business, as a stock on stock exchange. So once you understand this thing, you know that it's either whatever it is you are putting money into, either you are putting money, you are buying shares of a business, or you are putting money, you are loaning government money or bonds. Bond is also borrowing business, corporations or government money. So that's still businesses. So it's either you are putting money into a business, or you are putting money into real estate, or you are holding the cash or commodity. Commodities include gold, silver, and I like to classify crypto as commodity because it's still a currency. So it's more like you are holding currency in their raw form. So it's either you are putting money into a business, you are putting money into a property, or you are holding your cash. And let me give you an example. Look around you. What do you see? It's either you're seeing a building or a business. Look around. Either a building or a business. It's either a house or a commercial venture. Even the cars that are going on the street, it's either they are parked to be sold, or they are going to their house, or they are going to a business venture. It's either business or real estate, or you are holding the cash raw. So now that you understand this, what now guides your choice of the asset you put your money into? That's what we are going into right now. What guides your choice of what you are putting your money into? What guides your choice of what you are putting your money into? Now, you need to understand that it's either you are building or you are partnering. That's all we are doing. It's either you are building or you are partnering. It's either you are building a business or you are investing in someone's business as a partner. So if I go and buy shares of Coca-Cola now, I just partnered with Coca-Cola. That's the thing. I just gave them my money so that they can give me something more in return. Or I go to build my own business. If I go and buy a property, right, it's either I build the land or I buy a property that's already existing. And I can buy a loan, or some people come together to buy with me. It's either you are building or you are partnering. That's it. That's how investment works. If you buy treasury bills, that means you give government money, you loan them money. You are partnering with a government to develop their country. It's simple. When we understand this thing, investments become simple. It becomes simple. It's not hard. It's not complex. So how do you now choose a partner? Firstly, I think I broke it down into three, right? How do you choose a partner? Into two. Number one, you choose who to partner with and what sector to partner in or to build in. So, for example, just like if you want to start a business, I can't just come to meet you. I'm seeing you for the first time. Oh, guy, let's do business together. No, I want to get to know you. Are you a man of integrity? Have you done this before? Can I trust you? Won't you stab me in the back? Things like that. So, for example, Warren Buffett, Before investing in any company, he said he would sit down with their annual report. What is he doing? He's trying to check their decisions. Who are the people at the helm of these affairs? Can I trust them? Can I put my money with them? Are they trustworthy? Do they know what they are doing? That's it. Just like if I want to buy a property also, I want to check, is this property currently tenanted? Are the tenants comfortable? Is this area serene? What are the factors? I did a video today and I mentioned 3 things on our new deal. I said it's a great community, it's a great infrastructure, and I said it's a great traffic. You see, that's an indicator of historical performance. That means there's road, there's good ambience, there's serenity, historical performance. Current indicator, are people still living there, or it's an area where people are moving from? Indicator, current performance. Indicator of future performance, is there traffic? Are people still interested in living in this area? Indicator of future performance. Would people still want to rent house here? Indicator of future performance. A business, will people continually want to buy these products? Have they been innovating over the years that I can say these people continue to innovate new products that people want to buy? Historical performance, current performance, indicators of future performance. This is how you know whether when you add value to this thing and you give it time, it will give you more value. Why will a cinematographer buy a $7,000 camera? Why will they invest such an amount into cameras, into gadgets, into all those things? Because they know that over time, this thing is going to yield more money for them, right? Why will I go to do my, although in Nigeria, in fact, I have a theory. It's my opinion, you can agree or not. A lot of people go to do masters because they don't know what to do next. A lot of people. It's because they don't have any plan. Not that they really know what they're going to do with the masters. Some people even up to PhD. Right? But in the real sense, you should go to do your masters because you want to increase your negotiating power in the job market. That should be the reason why you go to do your masters. That's the reason why you want to go to increase your certification. You want to increase your value so that you can earn more. Right? Now, what are the mistakes people make when it comes to investing? The first one, which is the biggest one, is handpicking assets mindlessly. People do it when it comes to businesses. People do it when it comes to real estate. You know, the most frustrating thing I've ever seen on the internet is people say, if you have 100,000 naira to invest, how do you invest it? Put 10% in ETFs, put 20% in crypto, put 20% in... I'm like, what is this? Is this how... Go and... probably the way I think is paranoid. Go and check the 50, 100 richest men in the world. Was that how they became wealthy? So what exactly is your... If you're not following people that are already where you want to be, how do you want to get there? So, Mark Zuckerberg or Warren Buffett just woke up one day and he said, I put 10% in ETF. I put 20% in crypto. No. That's not how it works. You don't just unpick. I see people do it real estate. Just buy land though. Just buy land. Anywhere you see land, just buy. That is one of the dumbest things you can ever say. Because there are lands that would never appreciate in value. There are lands that are dead assets. There are lands that are toxic assets. So why will you say anywhere you see land, just buy? These are things, people just unpick assets. People just unpick mindlessly, aimlessly. That's one of the mistakes people make. It's the same way people lose money, doing stocks. Buy UBA. Buy this one. Buy Dangote. Why? What's your rationale? Why are you buying it? And the funniest part is that most people just make money for salesmen. Most people just make money for salesmen because they don't know what to do with their money. Warren Buffett to say investors make money for themselves, speculators make money for salespeople. Because speculators don't know what they are buying, they are just handpicking. They are just hoping that one day, by one chance, by one gimmick, by one shortcut, they'll become wealthy. They don't really know whatever it is they're putting their money into. And that's the first problem. You just want to buy any land. You just want to buy any stocks. You just want to put many people, if I've seen people that they just want to invest so that they can be called an investor, so that they can also sit down with their friends and say, do you know I just bought shares of Transcorp Hilton, or is it Transcorp PLC? That's nonsense. Many people just want to buy land so that you can say, yeah, I'm in land. I have one plot in Ekpe. I have one plot in Kuji. And so, don't be pressured. Your mate can be buying land and you are building your business. You are not less than them. Don't be pressured into all this. And that leads me to my second thing, pursuing fantasies. Many people just want to be an investor, a landlord. Owning a land does not mean you'll be wealthy. There are a lot of broke landlords that I know, struggling landlords that I know, that they will be begging their, number one, they are struggling to get tenants. When they get tenants, the tenant they are getting cannot even pay their money. Number three, they don't have any other thing that they do. When they get the money, they can't even renovate the property. So they just spend. So people leave the property. Broke landlord. There are people with land where they cannot resell. Nobody's willing to buy. I get messages almost every time. Thank you for the content you shared. I bought a land out of Kiniko. I had to resell under pressure for a bad price. Don't be pressured. I told a friend of mine when we was trying to get the property, I said, you are trying to build your studio in Lagos. Focus on that right now. There will always be land to buy. Always. So someone is buying at a level where they can. You that you are at the level where you should not, you are also competing. In fact, most of the people that are actually buying lands comfortably, paying probably in bulk or buying in bulk, there are people that their strategy to becoming wealthy is not those land. They are already wealthy. They are just buying probably for inheritance sake. Those are the people you are competing with. Those are the people you are pressuring yourself with. You that are supposed to still build your capital base, right? Or find a way to invest gradually and sustainably, right? Number three, listening to salesmen about investment. Stop listening to salespeople about investment. They are not investors, they are salespeople. They just want to get commission. Am I saying they cannot guide you? No, I'm saying be sure you are doing your own due diligence. In fact, I tell people the most important due diligence you can do before investing in real estate, not buying, is not what's the title. It is what's the potential. It's not what's the title. It is what's the potential. It is what am I buying with. That's the best due diligence. The fundamental due diligence to do. Number 4, zero or common knowledge about the asset. People buy land, they don't even know the significance of the land to the project they are buying it at. They are just buying because someone said they should buy. People buy stocks because, just like everybody that rushed to buying MTN. Am I saying MTN is a bad stock to board? No. But I'm saying why? Why are you buying it? Why? Can you defend it? Or are you just jumping on bandwagon? See, the problem is not that it's not that you cannot make profit from jumping on bandwagon. It's that you can make profit, but that's how you jump on the one that you make losses to. And guess what? The losses will always be more than the wins. So you have to calm down and learn first. And the last one, people thinking short term. People thinking, see, if you want to make money short term, go and do a business. Go and get a job. That's the strategy to making money long term. You want to build wealth, abundance, it's long-term thing. Berkshire Hathaway, I think they've only paid dividends once. But guess what? The value of your shares, the value of your shares in the company is skyrocketing. It's compound. It's over the years. That is, if you decide to wake up and sell your shares now, you know how much profit you would make. Instead of the trinkles you'll be making every year. Right? Instead of the trinkles you'll be making every year. So what do? Number 1, grow your capital first. Get a stable job. Grow your business. I tell people, if you cannot afford to invest 500,000 naira yet, or at least save 100,000 naira every month, leave investing alone. Leave it alone. You can't save 100K comfortably every month. In fact, we are planning to introduce a system now where, okay, if you don't have up to 500,000 naira, you can start storing your cash with us. That is, you have 100,000 naira, drop it. Minimum of 100K though. You drop it with us. Then within 6 months, you must have stored up to 500,000 with us. And then we now put into whatever deal we have at that particular point. And the clause is, if by 6 months you still have not been able to store 500,000 naira, we return your money to you without interest. Because your money is not doing anything with us. You are just storing it without interest. But what does that mean? Is that while you are storing with us, right, you can spend it. At least you can keep it for 6 months and you keep storing, you keep increasing. So, and for the rule is that it's the 100,000 naira minimum that you are planning to invest with us must not be more than 30% of your income. That means when you remove 30% of your income, it should be 100K. So that means at least you should be making more than 300,000 naira before you can even say you want to do it. If you're not making up to 300,000 naira a month in this economy, increase your earning power. Don't go and drop 50,000 naira as an initial deposit for any land. Increase your earning power. Don't go and drop 20,000 naira for any land deposit. Increase your earning power first. Many of you are just making rich people richer. Because the land you are dropping 20,000 naira for 36 months, that's 3 years. Okay, you think after 3 years you have to sell the land for 10 million naira and then you make. This is how you people lose money. This is it. Ignorance. And you see, many people, you have get rich quick, you have it in your blood. You just want to find any shortcut. In fact, many of you are trying to do Yahoo with real estate. You just don't know. You are trying to just cut corners with real estate. If you want short-term return, go and do a business or get a job. You want long-term, then go and invest. Right? Grow your capital first. Number 2, find a partner that is headed in that direction. I get it. You have a business, you have a job you're trying to run. You cannot be knowing which investments is it, which real estate should I buy. You don't have that time to be doing everything. Find a partner that is, number 1, that is trustworthy, that has the integrity. I do give examples of people who drop money with me for weeks. I'll be the one pursuing them. Sir, you've not gotten your receipts. Give us your details. Because somehow they've just gotten to trust us. And it wasn't a day thing, right? Many people have been watching me for 2 years, more than 2 years. So when they say they give me money, it's not because of one video that they saw. They've been watching the track records, right? So find a partner that is headed in that direction, that you can trust that when he says buy this, he's not saying buy this because you are earning commission, because he's going to earn commission on it rather. One of the things we do, I struggle to do is to raise salespeople. And that's why we don't have salesmen. We have investment associates. And they don't get commission on your investment. They get paid salary and they get paid well. And in fact, one of the things we do is that from your salary, we are deducting an amount of money that is being invested into the deal that you're trying to communicate to your clients. If you don't think it is worthy enough for us to remove your salary to put into the deal, then you are lying to the investor. So definitely anybody that is picking up from additional asset to talk to you is an investor in the deal he's trying to tell you to invest in. It's simple as that. And he's not making any commission from what he's trying to get you on board. So he's not going to manipulate you because he's getting paid well. He's getting a salary. These are things that, and this is why when you see me talk to our investment associates, I'm not trying to teach them sales strategies. I'm not using Wolf of the Wall Street. By the way, let me say this, for anybody using Wolf of the Wall Street, Glengarry Glen Ross, all those sales movies to teach your sales people, you are teaching them to manipulate people, not to sell. Quote me anywhere. You are teaching them to manipulate. And I'm saying this because I've also used it for training, personal training and people training for years. And I discovered it is manipulation. Sales is helping people make sound decisions, not just doing every means to get them to give you money. Number 3, don't just invest, learn. This is what many people are not trying to do. When you find a partner, don't just give them their money, ask them questions. I get on one-on-one calls with my clients, 8 p.m. all the time. Because I will ask them, do you understand the document I sent you? If no, let's get on a call. We have investors meeting every month. Runs into 1 hour, 2 hours. I'm breaking everything down for them. This is what we are putting money into. This is why we are buying this property. This is what we see. We don't buy property. See, one of the things that I learned from Grant Cardone is that when you see a property, ask yourself, can I live there? That's one. Number 2, will I like this property in the next 3 years? Will I like it in the next 5 years? Will I like it in the next 10 years? So and it's the principle that Warren Buffett uses. He only invests in companies that he knows that in the next 50 years, 20 years, he's still liking them. Even though he can pull out when he feels, but at least he can see something that tells him that I can stay here for a long time. And that's why at additional assets, if you are not ready to invest for 10 years, don't come. Minimum of 10 years. You are getting annual cash flow, but you know that your capital is locked in for 10 years. That's it. And then 4, you must be conscious that investment is a lifestyle. You are investing every day. As you are making money, 30%. And that's what we try to create now. We are trying to help you make investment as an habit. It's called additional float. Every month, or every day, or every week as you make money, You put a percentage, 30%, whatever it is, send. As I said, you are getting a receipt, you are it's more like your stock certificate, share certificate. You are storing it. Oh, I have this amount with this. I'm storing this. Once it's up to 500,000 naira, we put into whatever deal we have at hand. Right? And it's after how many days, if your money is not up to the minimum investment we need, we return the money back to you. Return it back to you. So make investment an habit, and it just becomes an habit because now you are not overthinking. Oh, hello, I've sent the money. Thank you. 30% of 100k is how much? Yeah. Additional said, I've sent you, Kiniko, give me my receipt. Oh, 500,000 just sent that. Oh, 30% of 500,000. It becomes an habit. So someone cannot even blackmail you into doing charity or doing giveaway out of your investment money because you've sent it in already. I was watching, this is how I will wrap up. I was watching Lamido Sanusi yesterday, and he was talking about Silicon Valley Bank, how they collapsed. It was not because they were not using the money well. That's something you should know. It was basically, let me tell you what happened. They bought treasury bills. They bought treasury bills in bulk, in large chunk. What happened? Treasury bills have stipulated, like, fixed rates that are giving you. They have fixed rate that are giving you. So they are locked in treasury bills. Now remember that they used people's depositors' money to invest in treasury bills. That's investors' money. Now, interest rates from banks have increased above what treasury bills is going to give them. So how will they pay the investors back? They ran into loss. That was it. Did they invest? Yes. But you see, Sanusi was trying to talk about regulation. That if they were regulated, they would have seen it early. That you are getting too much invested into this with the way interest rate is growing up. So you should understand this. So guys, I believe with what I've shared this evening, you've gotten the basics. If you need to watch this video again and again and again and again and again till you get it, excuse me, you have any question, you can drop it in the comments. You can reach out, you can join. By the way, I'm going to probably drop the link to join Adesina Circle in the description. We're going to drop it in probably one of the comment sections so that you can join the community. And then we have Adesina Circle community. It's a community of like minds where we talk about investments, trends, and all those things. We just get people grounded in this knowledge. And currently we have a deal currently going on. It's a 12-unit property, very amazing property, fully tenanted. Remember, we only do property with ready demand and growing demand. Ready demand means it's currently tenanted. Growing demand means we know that it will continuously be tenanted. 12-unit property, we are raising 400 million naira. You can invest as low as 500,000 naira and you can be getting annual cash flow, passive income. So that means that you work or work for 1 year, you are making money. And then you get that for 10 years. And then 10th year, you are making a minimum of 1.5 times to 2.5 times what you put your money into. Of the money you invested, rather. That's something, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So guys, this is where we'll wrap up today. This session is every Monday by 5 p.m. and I look forward to seeing you next week Monday. Have an amazing, amazing evening.